Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us here on the 10 Weather Impact Show. I'm meteorologist Aaron White, and we are tracking more heat and humidity here as we go through the work week. We got temperatures rising up into the 80s already this afternoon, and we have some 90s in our forecast, and factor in those dew points up into the 60s to lower 70s, and it's going to be feeling fairly muggy here as we continue on through the work week. And then eventually we're going to see some changes as we have showers and storms back in the picture looking ahead to the weekend. Unfortunate timing that it has to happen on the weekend, but that's what we got here in the 7-day forecast. But again, we are tracking the heat, so we do have a 10 weather impact alert here looking ahead to Wednesday, as that's going to be the hottest day of the forecast as we have high temperatures in the mid 90s. Factor in the dew points, it's going to feel like it's near or possibly even over 100 as we go through the afternoon. So some toasty temperatures are on the way, and it's already feeling pretty warm and muggy out there this afternoon. We got a partly cloudy sky, temperatures getting into the mid to upper 80s, currently 86 degrees. Factor in the humidity, it feels like 89. So our temperatures are getting up there. We'll get close to 90 here this afternoon, and it's going to feel like it's at least into the lower 90s here for a couple of hours once we get closer to that 90-degree temperature here for today. But then our temperatures continue to increase going into tomorrow, right on through Wednesday, Thursday, and even into Friday, still fairly toasty before we see things, at least the heat starting to break down a little bit and leading to those better chances for showers and storms as we head into the weekend. So for right now, things are relatively quiet across Ohio. We got fairly clear skies, a lot of sunshine. So do keep in mind that with the sunshine, not just today, but all through the work week, our UV index is going to be very high. Burn time as little as 15-20 minutes. So, of course, make sure to apply that sunscreen and reapply if you're going to be outside for a while. Now, the only thing that we have for any activity nearby is across parts of West Virginia, where we are tracking some scattered showers developing. That's all going to stay to our south. If anything, we'll see a few scattered clouds this afternoon like we already have. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But the main system that's causing those showers, that continues to move to the south. This is the same system that brought us in the showers and storms that we had Friday into Saturday, and even some of the activity still yesterday. That spin you see right there just north of Atlanta over southern Tennessee, that's going to continue to move to the south as a big ridge builds in, this big heat dome, and that's going to allow for the sunshine and the heat. And we're already starting to see that across the upper Midwest. You can see that trail of clouds right there. That's the jet stream that's going to continue to kick off towards the north and stay up around there, leading to that heat building in and high pressure and control. A lot of sunshine is in the forecast, and along with those highs well into the 90s. So the main storm track, the jet stream way up to the north, going to see those showers and storms really staying north of the Great Lakes area. But once that starts to break down, eventually that's going to start to dip more to the south and will lead to those storm chances for us here going into Saturday and Sunday. So we'll be watching that pretty closely looking ahead to the weekend. Meanwhile, as we talk about those heat alerts, we have them in place, especially across the upper Midwest in North Dakota, Minnesota, that extreme heat warning. High temperatures out there are going to be close to 100, and the real feel could be a little bit higher, but they're going to see less humidity compared to what we have here in place across Ohio. And we do now, this is a new update here this afternoon, there are some heat advisories that have been issued for northern Ohio. We'll have to wait and see if we see some of those issued around here, especially for Wednesday, as that's going to be the hottest day of the next 7, as we have the highest forecast around 95, but the real feel, that heat index, will be around 100 during the afternoon. So a lot of heat building in here for the next several days. You can see those temperatures forecast to be up into the 90s here as we go into our Wednesday afternoon. Lower to middle 90s, maybe a couple spots getting up closer to 97, and then that real feel closer to 100 here for the afternoon. And then we're looking ahead to the weekend as those chances for showers and storms ramp up Friday night and more so Saturday into Sunday. So of course we're watching that as well. But on the hour-by-hour forecast, not much happening here for at least the next several days. We got pretty clear skies, a few scattered clouds this afternoon, and maybe a light sprinkle. We're not going to really see much here. Nothing to worry about for today in terms of any rain. But as the clouds are building up, they could produce maybe a couple raindrops, and that's all we're going to see. Less than 10% is our forecast here for today. And then as we go into tomorrow, more sunshine in the forecast. May not even see a cloud in the sky here tomorrow with high pressure and control. Perfect sunshine tomorrow into Wednesday. But do keep in mind, it is going to be toasty here as we go through tomorrow and into the end of the week. So as we talk about those heat index values, Upper 90s here tomorrow, 101. That's our forecast for Wednesday. So 95 is our forecast high. Max heat index right around 100. So pretty toasty conditions. Maybe not quite as extreme as what we had just a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, still pretty toasty here for this time of year. Our forecast as we go through the rest of today, topping out right around 89, 90 degrees for the forecast high. Mostly sunny skies, and then more sunshine tomorrow, Wednesday, with that 10 weather impact alert for a high of 95, feeling like 100 in the afternoon. And then our temperatures start to cool a little bit as that ridge starts to break down. We'll still be around 90 on Friday with mostly sunny skies, but then that jet stream starts to dip even further south, leading to those increasing chances for showers and storms here over the weekend. Likely going to see some around, maybe not a total washout, but do expect some showers and storms around Ohio as we look ahead to your Saturday and Sunday, and then may see those chances actually linger going into next week as we have those warm and muggy conditions sticking around here. And of course, we've had plenty of moisture around as we have been talking about just those showers and storms. If we look at basically what's been happening here, and that's actually making for perfect weather for mosquitoes to breed. And now Franklin County is taking action after mosquitoes in Hilliard tested positive for West Nile virus. Tonight, crews will be out spraying to stop the disease from spreading, and spraying will actually start around 9 tonight. Franklin County Public Health advises you to not approach or pursue the spray trucks. Crews will also be out spraying in the southern part of Upper Arlington and western Dublin around the same time. And of course, there are ways you can protect your family from mosquitoes this summer. Franklin County health officials say using bug spray can help, along with wearing long sleeves and pants to keep mosquitoes out of your house. Just make sure to clear any standing water where mosquitoes like to make their home. And the heat is back on, of course, as we talk about the forecast this week here in Central Ohio, and that means it's another good time to remind you about our Beat the Heat fan drive. So remember, when temperatures rise this summer, you can help a neighbor stay safe. Join 10 TV, 97.1 The Fan, and Life Care Alliance for our annual Beat the Heat fan drive. Drop off a new box fan at any Franklin County fire station or make a donation through Life Care Alliance. Every donation helps keep someone cool this summer, and you can text the word FAN, F-A-N, to 614-460-3345 to find out how to donate, and we'll send that information right to your phone, and together we can help beat the heat. And with this latest round of heat, you can bet beaches and pools will be popular places to cool off. Red Chapman from our sister station, CBS station in Minneapolis, has some tips on how to keep you and your kids safe while in the water.
Rushing to cool water to beat the heat. Here at Theodore Park Beach, parents are doing what they can to keep their kids cool.
The kids, they just want to be in the water, cooling off, and yeah, I mean, it's Minnesota, water's everywhere, so water safety is top of mind always.
With 2 recent drownings and a near drowning at area parks and lakes, many parents are working together to make sure kids are safe.
You just got to watch the kids and make sure that we're never assuming that one of us is watching the kids. We need to communicate and say, hey, I have eyes on. If you need to go get something, like one of us is always here watching.
Many areas have lifeguards. Here we found lifeguards giving life-saving swimming lessons.
To swim and swim on my back and stuff.
Lessons in water safety tools 8-year-old James says help him and his 6-year-old brother Emmett stay safe when they are in the water, like wearing bright clothes while swimming.
So you're not the color of the water, so you can see the person in the water.
Minneapolis Park and Rec Aquatics directors have some tips to ensure safety comes first in the water. Never swim in unauthorized areas and never swim alone. If swimming in a lake, be careful not to get water in your mouth. And most importantly, make sure to watch your child closely, no matter what their swimming skill level is.
Whether it's my husband and I or a friend and I, we know who has their eyes on the kid at all times.
With photojournalist Dave Suresh, Red Chapman, WCCO News.
And turning now from the heat to wildfires, and it's not just the U.S. actually dealing with the flames. A wildfire that broke out along the A6 motorway south of Paris spread into the Fontainebleau forest on Sunday, prompting authorities to shut the highway in both directions as firefighters work to contain the blaze, according to the French public broadcaster France Info. The fire started actually it started before spreading into the forest. Around 100 firefighters were deployed on both sides of the motorway to support, and actually was supported by 2 heavy helicopters and a water bombing aircraft. Firefighters described the blaze as very, just a big blaze that was lasting over many acres and as of last report. And speaking of those fires, fighting the fires efforts, video posted online on Monday actually showed firefighting planes skimming over the Seine River to collect water to actually help douse the flames from a wildfire burning in the south, just south of Paris. Europe is enduring its 3rd heat wave of the summer, with tender dry vegetation and high temperatures fueling blazes from the Iberian Peninsula to France. Most scientists say the fires are driven by climate change. And similar scenes were observed in Wales as firefighters remained on the scene of a wildfire in the northern part of the country on Monday after a major incident was declared by emergency services on Sunday as the blaze broke out. Residents near Conwy Mountain and one of the passes there actually evacuated while members of the public were warned to avoid the area. That's actually from a BBC report. No further evacuations were required. The North Wales Fire and Rescue Service said in an update to its Facebook page on Monday, adding that it was unclear when residents evacuated from their area could actually return and would actually be able to return home. And back closer to home, fires continue to burn near Loyalton, California. The Elephant Fire has charred 6,400 acres and is actually 5% contained, so pretty low containment on that. It sparked along Highway 49 near the Sierra and Plumas County line and is actually scorching mainly grass and brush. Firefighters say there is no threat to Loyalton or any other surrounding communities. The cause is still under investigation. And this is just the latest extreme weather impact, as more than 58 million Americans under alert as a heat wave scorches the West. The heat and also fueling the fires and firing up thunderstorms. CBS's Carter Evans is in Los Angeles with more.
Progress tonight on the Summit Fire, which has burned nearly 3,000 acres outside Los Angeles. Just a few miles west, firefighters made quick work on a fast-moving blaze that came dangerously close to homes. While in Loyalton, California,
The fire off Highway 70.
a helicopter crew mapped out another fire from above.
It's all open line.
And in Colorado, where the Aspen Acres fire burned hundreds of homes, U.S. Senator John Hickenlooper toured the damage.
We definitely need more funding. There have been huge cuts to the fire service. There have been cuts to BLM. There have been cuts everywhere.
Fueling those fire concerns is extreme heat, now bearing down on millions.
If the wind ain't blowing, you're trying to pour water on yourself or whatever you could do. It is hot out there.
Further east, too much water is a concern. In New Orleans, thunderstorms dumped several inches of rain, forcing families to wade through knee-high water.
Come on, y'all, keep up.
And communities in Philadelphia are cleaning up after powerful microbursts ripped through neighborhoods with wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour.
Heard a giant boom, and I'm like, did we get hit by lightning? And then I looked out the front door and saw the roof was on top of my vehicle.
So it's really from one extreme to the other. About 40% of the country is experiencing drought conditions right now. Carter Evans, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And switching things around, moving on from the heat, fire, and drought, we also have to take a look at some of the flooding rains that hit parts of the U.S. this past weekend. Starting first in New Orleans, where flooding caused roads to become impassable on Saturday. But one man had an idea. Why not use his paddleboard? This method can work if waters are relatively still, but we certainly wouldn't recommend attempting to venture out on flooded roads due to the hidden dangers and currents that could be concealed. And then moving to the east, police in East Brunswick, New Jersey came to the aid of 2 people who became trapped in floodwaters on Thursday. And all of it was caught on tape. In this video, you can hear the driver tell the officers that the car lost power. The officers were eventually able to help the 2 out of the car and into a truck. The police department says officers responded to numerous weather-related emergencies from that same storm. And back to the west, heavy rains flooded roads and homes in Missouri this week, prompting a state of emergency. Flooding could be seen from above Lesterville, Missouri, shown here in these aerial views. The immense scope and size of the flooding on full display. Those heavy rains and flooding resulted in hundreds of campers that needed to be rescued from rising waters. Joanne Franklin captured video of people having to climb on top of their vehicles and nearby roofs to basically escape the rising water on Friday. KMOV reported that floodwaters devastated the area of Lesterville and Reynolds County in Missouri, and some of those areas actually saw almost 12 inches of rainfall. And regarding that rescue, the Missouri Department of Public Safety posted to their Facebook page on Saturday saying, quote, "Thanks to the superb work of the team of Ironton's Arcadia Elementary School that provided support for the 202 evacuated young campers and counselors from Camp Teum Sauk yesterday," end quote. They added, quote, "Consensus from the kids was the experience was, quote, awesome, and that, quote, Missouri National Guard team was mostly responsible for the awesome part," end quote. And that flooding was the result of over 12 inches of rainfall in the area on Friday. And while the rescues are done, the cleanup is just getting started. Sean Lodging reports from Crawford County, Missouri.
Coosaw Valley Resort in Crawford County is used to dealing with the water.
Mother Nature is a beast. That's all you can say.
But this, the family-run campground since 1979, was a first for them.
Yeah, we were very surprised. We didn't expect it to get as high as it was going to get.
Friday, Chase Cottrell says cleanup well underway as the water receded from the heavy downpours that sent it rising.
The storm hit right around midnight, and it just came hammering, so we knew something was going to happen.
Chase says to the south, at the headwaters, several inches of rain in just hours, which gave them warning.
We started evacuating at 4 a.m. We had about 150, 200 people in the campground. We got them out safely.
Chase says the USGS gauge on the State Route 8 bridge over Huzzah Creek reached 20 feet. The previous highest they recorded, 17 feet.
The water got about 3 foot into our store right behind me, which has never happened in our history. It's gotten pretty close to the doorsteps, but it's never gotten that high.
While the flooding is common in this area,
it is going to be quite the cleanup process, but we're used to it. We've had a lot of floods in the past.
It's not usually this bad, especially in July.
And finally today, we want to check out some new video into us here at 10 TV. And first up, for the second time this year, the Sun and New York City aligned to create the crowd favorite spectacle known as Manhattanhenge. This took place on Sunday when the sunset aligns with the New York City street grid, creating just an amazing photo opportunity. And I saw some videos on social media of just people just out there standing and just, capturing that moment on all the different city streets there. So a pretty cool spectacle there out in Manhattan, New York. And finally today, a zoo in Thailand celebrated the second birthday of the viral sensation pygmy hippo Mu Ding on Friday with the large cake made of fruits and vegetables. The 2-year-old Mu Ding approached the cake where her mother, Jonah, had already begun digging into it. Some say the hippo might not be as cute to some anymore, but she is now approaching the similar size to her mother, distinguishable from a distance only due to the lack of hair on her ears and slightly smaller stature. The celebration actually drew a steady stream of visitors, although there were significantly less attendees than the thousands who attended her first birthday last year. Mu Ding soared to stardom shortly after she was born, largely thanks to her keeper that was actually shared adorable pictures and videos of the baby hippo on social media. And they named Mu Ding, which literally means bouncy pork in Thai, which was chosen by fans via a poll on social media. So fun to see, Elisa enjoying the second birthday with some fruits and vegetables there out in Thailand. And as we talk about our forecast before we wrap up things here for today, again, we're talking about heat, humidity, and storms in the forecast. If we take a look at the 7-day forecast here one more time, we have that 10 weather impact alert here looking ahead to your Wednesday afternoon as we got highs forecast to around 95. Heat index values approaching 100. So that'll do it for us here today. And coming up later on this afternoon, Chief Meteorologist Chris Tomer will have more on the forecast with the heat and also tracking those storms here for the weekend. So until then, you can catch more news and weather online as always at 10tv.com.